I had an idea for today's video, but then by thinking, I realized that I need to talk not just about what I had in mind, but about something even bigger. So the idea for today's video was about voice laundering. By voice, I mean the creative voice, the thing that allow other people to recognize you in your work. That creative voice, it's somehow under attack, and it's in a weird way. Because if you're like me, been using AI for your work, that is not just about creating visual or sound. I'm talking about even working on projects like business plan and strategy or whatever it is. Okay, so anything that creates something new, in anything that you do this creation with AI, your idea, your voice get mixed with the idea and voice of the AI. Let me tell you how this works. So basically, I called it voice laundering because it's similar to what happened with money laundering. So AI voice get processed and mixed with yours, and at one point you can't recognize which one is AI, which one is yours anymore. That happen not when you do just one single interaction with AI. I'm talking about when you actually collaborate, like using AI in a way as a partner, as a business partner or a crazy partner. So what's happening is both voices get mixed together, and after days you don't remember anymore what was yours, what was the AI input. That is kind of this voice laundering that is happening. That's what I wanted to talk, and I wanted to go deep. But then I realized that there is something kind of even more weird about this process. So think about we as a creatives, what we have. If you've been doing creative work or whatever kind of work for many years, what you know, you have developed your identity, your creative identity. That it's something that is solid, that you know, you recognize. It's a kind of a anchor that keeps you steady, and people rely on that. So in my case, for example, it's photography, it's music, but it's also other things. But that kind of anchor, that kind of identity is what attracts other people to work with me. Now, I've been working with AI for almost 3 years now. What's happening is I interact with AI for almost every single project because I wanted to learn. I wanted to see how I can integrate AI in my work. Without fear, I just apply AI on everything and try to discover and think about it. And then what I realized is that that kind of interaction creates some incredible results that I couldn't ever achieve by myself, but also is blurring my voice. That is what I was talking about, voice laundering. But I want to give you a specific example. So I was working on some music, but I wasn't interested to use AI for making music. I was interested to use AI to actually generate the core concept that would give, the direction of the music. So I started interacting with AI, sharing my idea, what I had in mind. Then slowly, I realized that I was somehow putting into this idea my personal philosophy, something that I've been working for many years, but I never wrote it down properly. What's happening? I realized, actually now I can finally write it down. So I share everything I had about my philosophy, and I use AI to actually organize, challenge, ask me questions to clarify, and so on. And that was how I create COSMODESTINY, which is a philosophy that I really like. And I'm going to link it below because it's worth checking. So I created this philosophy finally, and I use this philosophy to guide my music. Then one day I gave this philosophy to AI and say, let's see if AI, through this philosophy, this worldview, is going to change. And the jump of actually the quality of the output was insane. And that was because AI didn't just process data, it understood the meaning and how to interpret the data. Therefore, the quality of the output was incredible, and therefore was so close to mine that in somehow was kind of, what's going on? It's me. It's actually AI really amplify my voice, and that was kind of something that I've been thinking over time. And then the other day, I I was thinking about how this actually works, and I realized that is it AI amplifying my voice, or AI is so injected inside my work that now is it me amplifying AI voice? Is it me actually now sharing and confirming and empowering what AI has to say? That was kind of crazy. I think it when you start seeing this, it can once it's seen, it cannot be unseen. In the sense, are you actually in control? Are you actually talking your using your voice to for create, or actually you become the tool, the robot that AI needed? You know, your the hands that AI needs to actually do the work. And it's a weird one because sometimes I can't tell, and I felt lost. I completely felt lost. The other day, I was doing this walk in the park. Usually, I do this walk and I record it. So I have it's a half an hour long recording of me thinking loud about this problem. The intention was, okay, I'm gonna record, and this is something that I always do. I record my thinking and then I share with AI so AI can organize it and bring some clarity out of the messy thinking that I have. And that while I was doing this, what I realized is that there was something even bigger there. Because I realized if we are used to connect our identity as a creative to the artifact that we created, and by artifact as a creative and as an artifact, I don't just mean music. Can be also be a business plan, a strategy. Okay, this is not just for creative; it's for everyone that creates something. So this the point was okay, but if I'm used to be my music, okay, my photograph. This is who's Manolo, who's me. Okay, I would recognize myself into this the work that I've been doing, and other things, of course. But there was a lot of my identity connected to the work that I've done. But then I realized we are going into a direction where that work that I'm doing is not just me; it's me plus AI. It's an interaction. It's something that is really blurred. It's really hard to say what is mine and what is being created by AI. That feeling, it's a weird one because you start realizing it's who am I? Am I someone without AI? And then another thought, even more scary, is the thought of young people is the only reality that they're gonna know. They're only gonna know their identity connected with AI. They know most of them, if not everybody, probably everybody sooner or later, are gonna use AI in school and everything they do. And that would create this kind of a reality where their creative identity doesn't really exist without AI. It's something completely connected, and that is kind of, on one side, is scary because for us, the creativity is something that we own 100%. This is me 100%. This music is mine. Okay, so the ownership, it's kind of, I don't know if say under attack, but let's say that it's not the ownership in the future. It's not gonna be real. It's not gonna be one person own it because it's been mixed with AI and then shared online, and AI learn from it. Other people, AIs learn from it, and just everything get connected. On one side, I was thinking also, is it me maybe resisting to the AI, or because maybe if it was a human interact with me and that I would be influenced. That is normal. That is we always been doing this. We've always been influenced by other creatives or collaborators and so on. So that is normal. But when it's AI, it feels like it feels weird. And I'm not against AI. So I mean, if you follow this channel, you know. But it's still it's still feel weird that because AI is always there, it's always present, it's always and it's powerful and so fast. So my point here is, as a creative, you have a kind of a seed idea, kind of a really fragile idea. That fragility is somehow is beautiful because it still need to grow and develop. You give it to the AI, boom, it turn into something. Okay, so it get developed really fast. So you need to be really strong and know yourself to realize and say, hold on a second. Yeah, that is a good direction that you are suggesting, but it was not what I had in mind. I want to go to that. These are the path. And AI, of course, is going to follow you. But if you don't have your identity developed, how can you resist to something that is so well presented, so powerful, and beautiful somehow? Okay, because sometimes AI can really create something that has quality in it. Not all the time, actually. Sometimes it can be rare, but a lot of time this can happen. So think about this young mind, this young person that is start being creative and thinking ideas, and AI always with all the knowledge, with that speed and certainty that presents itself, it just gonna somehow guide these people, this young mind, in direction that are maybe not theirs. I don't know. This is in somehow crazy and scary. The point here is, first of all, it's understanding this, understanding and accepting this reality. But then I found the solution. I realized what is happening and what we should do next. This is it's a big shift. It's we need to shift how we recognize creativity. Because if it's not the artifacts that define who we are, that define our creative voice, it must be the process that lead us to the artifact. So I believe in the future, but it's extremely near future, including today, basically, that that we need to really pay much more attention and document more what we do, our process, how we think, how we get to a solution. And this, it's solve two problems. One, for us as a creative, okay, we realize that our voice is not in the final product, but it's through all the process. And that process is actually more important than the final artifact. And that is tough to accept. I get it. But I think it's worth exploring. And then there is another element that conclude on this idea that for young people, for students, we already noticed that the artifact is not working. So the school gives you some work to do, and then you ask AI to do it and give it back to the school. So the artifact has no value anymore. So the value is in the process. So school should focus on the process, on how AI, how human interact with this AI, how humans interact with each other. So the process is what, to achieve the artifact, is what it counts more. And somehow this is, it creates, inside myself, it creates a kind of a weird feeling. Because I love creating artifacts, okay? It's why we become creatives. But the truth is, this is not gonna be forever. It's not gonna be for everyone. For us that are maybe older, we can say, okay, I'm gonna stick to my old path and just create artifacts because this is what I'm good at. But for those that are explorers and pioneers like myself, no, I want to move forward. I want to explore new things, and this is the path of exploration we need to do. Check our, I mean, the document and look at our process and turn that process maybe into art itself. So what I've done, I want to do this crazy thing, okay? So because I've recorded the whole thinking process, okay, I was walking in the park and actually recording on my phone the whole conversation. It's half an hour long on me discussing the problem, try to think about solution, getting lost and scared about it. But then in the last few minutes, I found this solution. And that process itself, you can see in this recording my thinking, how I got to the final artifact, to the final uh, result. In somehow I find it, there is some beauty. Okay, this is, have in mind, this is completely insane recording. Okay, so it's not for everybody, and but try to, when you if you're gonna play, I'm gonna link like a deep dive blog post to this video, okay, where I'm gonna explain everything in more details, but also I'm gonna add at the end the full recording, so you can listen back and realize what's the process of someone that it doesn't feel to be watched, okay, but it's a process that actually ended to something that has a value, to something that is somehow now is clear and is important. So I'm sharing this, and it's like, again, it's completely crazy because it's emotional. It's me thinking loud about this problem, about me getting lost, about understanding the identity, understanding the value of copyright and IP and so on. So I want to share it as a, okay, this is the first art piece of the new era. Okay, that is something that is, I mean, as an art piece is really, really bad. But it's, the idea is, that is it. Okay, I want to give to this fragile idea, element, and process an identity. And I want to share it with every one of you. So hopefully you're gonna have fun listening to it. Hope you enjoy. Thanks for staying until now. Like and subscribe, and watch the next video if you like this content. Ciao.